The Rise of the Beast Studio Series figure hype continues, because just a few days ago I got and reviewed Voyager Class Cheetor, but today we gotta take a look at someone a little smaller, Core Class Arcee, on today's deceptibot9 reviews. How's it going, everyone? deceptibot9 here, and thank you as always for joining me here on the channel. Before we look at Arcee, I'd like to ask, if you like what you see, go ahead, leave me a like. Plus, if you like what you see and you want to see more and stay tuned for all of the future content I've got planned, go ahead and subscribe as well. It does really truly mean a lot to me, and we just recently passed 500 subscribers, and that is absolutely amazing. So thank you to everybody who is old and new to my channel. I love having you guys here. And if you want to follow me anywhere else on the internet, you can go ahead and find me on TikTok at deceptibot9, on Twitter at deceptibot9, and on Instagram at deceptibot9reviews. So with all that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Core Class Arcee. Alright, and before we actually look at the figure itself, I did, just like Cheetor, want to show off the packaging for Arcee, since it gives us our best look yet at some of the CG art for the character in the movie. And I gotta say, I actually really dig Arcee's design overall in this movie, from what we saw in the trailer, plus what we see here on the side and on the back card part of the box. I really enjoy what we are getting here. So, how does she fare as a figure? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Alright, and here is a full turnaround of our little Core Class Arcee. And overall, right off the bat, I don't hate her. I think she is quite fun. I've found myself enjoying her a lot. Yes, obviously this backpack it sticks out, but honestly, it doesn't stick out nearly as bad as we thought it would based on the promo photos and stuff. But it is my biggest problem with the figure is this whole backpack piece there. But we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at some of the details on Arcee. All right, starting up here on her head sculpt, it is really nice actually for a very tiny Core Class figure. It looks really good. I really like how the pink turned out, especially also with the blue eyes. I just think overall the head sculpt looks really nice. You get kind of the lines on the cheeks and stuff. The head, crest part itself also is really nice. Moving down to the front chest piece, this is in the movie, in the CG render, this is where the front of her bike will be, because those little silvery spots there are her headlights, which if you take a look at the back right here where the backpack is, you can see that that's that. And I believe the designer, one of the designers, King Samlock on Instagram, kind of made comments about that when he revealed his when he did his discussion topic about this figure, just because it's a core class, it's so small. And again, because it is a core class, I don't really mind. It would be kind of hard maybe to get that there. I'm not an engineer, so I don't actually know, but I do think overall she looks very nice there. Coming in more details, here's some nice sculpt work and paint work on the arms for being so tiny. We get some nice pink, some nice red. She gets a little trigger finger, and here is her little gun weapon, just done up all in black. Looks all right, nothing crazy. It is kind of a weird shape, but you can see it does have, two little spots where blasts will come out of. Down to the legs here, we get nice red paint all over. They're done in white, but a nice red paint going on. The feet are also a little oddly shaped. That's because they're part of the sides of the bike. So the feet look a little weird, especially with when you get the wheels hanging out on the back. But I mean, overall, for a small little Core Class figure, she is quite nice. I do like her a lot, actually, a lot more than I originally thought I might, because she, stock photos and original renders made her look a little wonky, to say the least, especially with all this going on back here. And I can't lie, it is a little big and it is a little noticeable, and especially the backpack here, it doesn't tab in anywhere, so it just kind of sticks out like this. And I would like it to stay like this, because it at least looks a little more it looks a little more compact when it's up against her back like this, but it doesn't tab anywhere, so it just kind of hangs out. And the wheels being back here as well, while they are part of her design, her wheels do come down here sometimes, but they are also seen up here in the trailer at some point. I don't mind them being down here, I guess, for the most part. I wish maybe they could have folded them in a little bit more. But the one cool thing about the wheels being down here is just the way they are, and part of transformation is you can rotate the wheels down, because we saw her do this in the trailer, and her wheels can become her little roller skates. So she can be a little finicky to balance in this mode, but there you go. You can see that she can stand just fine. They kind of gave her some heel spurs there, so she does have a way to stand just straight up if you are using the roller skates, but you can also, I'll talk about articulation here in a second, but you can also pose her in certain poses that make it look like she is roller skating, either skirting all the way out to the side. It makes it a little harder to stand in certain positions, but I do know that if you like flip this one up or something, you can get her kind of skirting out on the side like that. So you can get a little creative with Arcee, especially when it comes to her posability, which is what we'll talk about now. So her head is on a ball joint. It is a little hard to wiggle around, but it does swivel at least almost all the way around. It looks up ever so slightly, looks down ever so slightly. Your arms are on ball joints here. They rotate all the way around. They go out this far, plus their transformation joint allows them to hinge up even more if you would wish. The elbows here are on ball joints, giving you over 90 for the bend, which is incredible. And of course, ball joint swivels all the way around if you would like. The waist up here does rotate. That is thanks to transformation, but it is nice to get a little waist rotation here on a Core Class figure. Legs up here are on ball joints, so they go forward all the way like that. They go back, not as far just due to the backpack and stuff, but of course they can also split all the way out, which means Arcee can do a full split, and the backpack doesn't get in the way. That's incredible. And the knees is where it's a little interesting. So there is bend at the knee, which does let it go all the way to about 90, but again, just because of the way some of this stuff here on the back, the kibble, works, you might not be able to get it to bend all the way back because it's just stuck. But there is also, just due to transformation, kind of a secondary forward knee joint, so you can get her leg in a little bit of a bent kind of position up. If you want to utilize that in any of your posing, you certainly can. So that's about it. I mean, she is fairly posable for a Core Class. You can get some decent poses out of her. I'm going to take some pictures of her after this, throw them up on Instagram so you guys can kind of see a little bit better. So go ahead and check out my Instagram for those pics. But let's go ahead and compare her to a couple other figures, shall we? All right, here is Rise of the Beasts Arcee with Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime, so you can kind of see how these two might scale with each other in the movie. I don't think the trailer showed it well enough, but I don't think the size difference is this drastic between the two. So Arcee's kind of in a weird size where, should she have been a deluxe? Should she have been a core? Who's really to say? But we might be able to tell better in June. With the only other Rise of the Beast figure I have at the moment, here is Arcee with Voyager Cheetor, who again, I do have a review of on my channel. Go check that out if you want to know more about Cheetor. All right, and here is Rise of the Beast Arcee with Bumblebee movie Arcee. You can see these are pretty drastically different designs, but they do retain some design elements. The head sculpts in particular, the heads are very similar style, which is really nice, and they do both also have wheel heels. So there is a couple design elements that are shared. It is yet to be seen, obviously, because we've seen ones like Wheeljack as well, whether these Bumblebee movie designs are going to be the same characters as these Rise of the Beast ones. Who is to say? Well, again, we'll have to find out in June. And just to show off Arcee with a couple other tiny Arcees, here she is with my original Legion class Prime Arcee, who is very, she's a motorcycle, transforms kind of the similar style. And here is the first Studio Series Arcee, what you got, the one that came with the triplets. All right, transformation is very simple, but let's go ahead and show it off because it is kind of fun. All right, here is Arcee transformed up into her motorcycle mode. I believe in the movie this is a Ducati motorcycle, which is very near and dear to my family's heart. My grandparents love Ducati motorcycles, so I really like how this vehicle mode turned out. I am pleased with it all around, actually, to be honest with you. I really like it. I think it's a great little motorcycle mode. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at some of the newer details on this mode. All right, so coming up here, we get a better look at the front part of the motorcycle where now her headlights are and her windshield. These are all nicely painted. We got silver and black. And you can see the wheel now that was obviously on her back is now in the front, and it does spin, so you can roll the figure around. Nice gold painting. These were the legs. Nice. I love the way this paint scheme right here turned out. It just looks really nice overall. Coming up here to the top, we get to see an exposed screw that they have put a circle around to make it look like I think that's a gas cap usually, but I really like the way this part of the motorcycle turned out with the pink stripe down it and into here and the little seat back right there. They didn't have to put this right there, but I really like that they did. It is nice and black right there. Plus these parts of the arms here are sticking out to be the edge of the motorcycle. The hands are sticking out a little bit, which is not the first time it's happened on a Core Class, and on the Core Class, to me, it makes complete sense. And here is the back wheel now fully exposed, or not exposed, but fully formed up as a proper wheel rather than just parts of her feet. And as you saw at the end of the transformation there, her weapon storage is really quite genius. So it just tabs in right there at the bottom and it forms a kickstand. So if you want to take that out so that it's not there, you just have a regular motorcycle. And it can roll, it can push it and it rolls along the floor, or, your review station, whichever you're using. But obviously if you don't have the kickstand in, she will not stand up there. So using those little tabs to just put the weapon storage down there and make that a kickstand for the motorcycle, I think is a great idea. So let's see how she looks with those other figures that we looked at earlier, shall we? Here she is with Prime. Not sure trucks are obviously bigger than motorcycles. Not sure they're this scale. I don't know. These are all weird anyway. So they do look really nice together though. I do like the way these two look. Here she is with Bumblebee Movie Arcee, who is still a motorcycle, but a very different styled motorcycle. Obviously, she's Cybertronian and all pink and white. Here she is with our good friend Cheetor, who is a hell of a lot bigger than she is. And here she is with our other two mini Arcees. This one will not stand up by itself at all. So you can kind of see there. Three nice little Arcee motorcycles all together. All right, that's going to do it for my closer look at Studio Series Core Class Rise of the Beast Arcee. So let's go ahead and throw it back up to me for my final thoughts. All right, so what are my final thoughts here on Rise of the Beast Core Class Arcee? Well, I can certainly say that she is a lot of fun. A lot more fun, I think, than I actually expected her to be based on the original stock photos and CG renders. Yes, she does have problems, obviously, of this backpack. It doesn't look as bad in hand as it does in the renders or in photos, and the wheels sticking out down there as well. But I think I can overlook those because, again, she is Core Class. She is only $10. She is nice and tiny, and she's got a pretty fun transformation, a great-looking robot mode, and a great-looking motorcycle mode all around it. So for what you get, she's pretty solid. That is going to do it for my full review of Transformers Studio Series Core Class Rise of the Beast Arcee. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts on this figure down below. I picked mine up from Amazon when she went up, when her release date got moved up. I think it was later last week. She finally arrived to me today, and I am super excited to finally be getting this Rise of the Beast stuff. So go ahead and let me know all your thoughts about that down below. If you made it all the way to the very end, thank you very much. I do really appreciate all of you who stick around. That's all I've got for you guys today. As always, I've been your host, deceptibot9, and I'll see you guys later.